Hello and welcome to video 5. This is me learning how to use the AKAI MPC Live 3 and passing on to you all my tips and tricks as I do so. So just to be clear, I'm going to record a 4-bar sequence with drums, a synth bass, Fender Rhodes piano and a vocal, and I'm going to use this built-in mic here. So I'm on another project at the moment, so I need to press menu and I need to press new project, which is down here. Just press that and it goes blank and it'll bring up a new project. It does take quite a while, to be fair. So there we are, there's our new project. It's untitled. We see sequence 1 and trap kit MPC default F minor has come up. So I'm going to press shift and this save as button up here, and it's brought up this page here. I'm going to long press where it says untitled. Long press means put your finger down and press. Now I have this keyboard come up and I can type in what I want. I will call it 4-track recording. That's it. Do it. Save. And now at the top under project it says 4-track recording. I'm a great believer in naming things as you go because it makes things so much easier later on. Now we're going to change the name of the sequence. It's called sequence 01 at the moment. I'm just going to do this to show you that I can. So again, I'm going to long press this. So there we are. Now again, here's the keyboard icon. So I press that and I've got this come up and I'm going to rename this intro. It's not really an intro, but you know, it's as good a name as any. Intro. Do it. Close. So we've got 4-track recording and our sequence is called intro. Now by default you get this trap kit MPC default F minor kit come up, which is one of these clever kits. We've got the different sounds in the corners. I'm not going to deal with that today. I'm just going to load in a really straightforward kit. I'm going to keep it dead simple. So how do I load in a new kit? Now there's probably a few ways that I don't know of yet, but I'm just going to press the browser envelope here. The kits have come up, okay, because I was on a kit. And I'm going to scroll down with the data dial. These are going to start playing as soon as I land on them. And I'm going to come down to 707 Air 120. I'm going to press load. And now over here I've got this kit loaded on the 16 pads. A very straightforward kit. No fancy stuff with the corners, just one sound per pad. Now on the main page, which we're on, under 1 intro, it says bars 2. Just going to put my finger on that. Now it's got the red rectangle. Every time you see the red rectangle around something, it means you can alter it with the data dial. So I'm going to bring this up to 4. It's a bit small, but it is 4. If I push down on that, you see I've got 4 bars. Okay, do it. So I've got a 4-bar pattern as promised. Just going to check a couple of settings up here. So the timing correct, TC is set to 1/16, so it will quantise to semi-quavers, which is fine. That's the usual thing. Obviously you can change that if you want. And the metronome, it's very small this, I'm afraid. If I press the metronome, metro, now I've got the settings here. So here's the level of the metronome. Now you can put your finger on it and now you can alter it with the data dial. Or you could drag your finger up and down on the left. This gives you a good result. You can see what's happening. If you go to the right, it's a bit weird. It's kind of the wrong way around, isn't it? So you want to alter it with your finger, do it on the left, but it's probably easier to do it with the data dial. Now I've got the sound set to cowbell. If I just click that, you can change this to MPC click. In fact, if I long press on that, you've got all these options. It's set to MPC click by default, but I think cowbell is a bit of a kinder sound, kinder to your ears, so we'll go with that. Push down on that, that's locked in. And at the moment the metronome will start when I have the count in and it will carry on while I'm recording, which is what I want. And the rate of the metronome is crotchets, it's quarters, and the output of it is 1/2, so it's going to come out into my headphones, which is fine. So close that, everything's great there. The tempo is 90. If I just press on the 90 there, it's got the rectangle. Push down on the data dial. Now I could change the timing like this, or I could tap it in. Now you've got to be careful here because it's decimal points. Now I've got 90, do it, yeah. So 90 beats per minute, that's absolutely fine. Quantizing to semi-quavers, metronome set the way I want it. And like I say, once you've set that metronome to cowbell or whatever sound you like, I think it remembers it across all the projects from that point on. Now if I press record and play start afterwards, I'll get a 4-beat count in, and this 4-bar pattern will just loop round, and once it's gone through once, you'll see this jump to overdub, so I can then add sounds as I go. So I'll start it with a usual kick drum, snare drum, then I'll have the hi-hats on subsequent passes. So record, play start, here we go then. So that's the first pass. Now you can see it's jumped to overdub and it says so on the screen. I'll just let the 4 bars go through and I'll have the hi-hats. 2, 3, 4. And there's our pattern. Not terribly exciting, I know, but it gets the job done. So we've done our drum pattern. We've got 4 bars on this very basic Rhodes 707 kit, and that's perfect, isn't it? Now you have to be careful, because if I want to record more sounds, supposing I want to add the clap on this pad, now if I press record and play start, it will erase everything I've done. So to add this clap, I've got to press overdub and then press play start. 4-bar count in. And now that clap's been added to the recording. And you can see that whatever pad you press, the sample comes up in the display. So there's our clap, there's our snare, there's our kick drum. You see? So it's brilliant, it's very visual, isn't it? So our drum track is done. If I hold shift and track view, you'll see there's our track we've done. It tells us the name of the kit we were using. That's a real basic view. If I just press main again, you can see that's a bit more of an involved view. So we now need to create a new track to record our bass line. So down here, bottom left, it says plus new track. So I'm going to click that. Now we have a choice to make. We've got a choice of 6 track types: audio, drum, plug-in, key group, MIDI or CV. I need plug-in because I'm going to add this bass sound. So I'm going to press that, plug-in. Now, I'm going to choose the BASSLINE plugin. So how do I do that? I go to Sounds and I choose BASSLINE, and now the sound I want is called thick bass. I happen to know, because I've done this earlier today, that it's in the thump folder. See, all these are folders. If I go back, that fat sine sound there is not in a folder, it's just a kind of default sound. But the sound I want is in the thump folder. See, there's a folder icon there. Thick bass, that's fine. So if we go back to main, you can see the BASSLINE plugin is being used and the thick bass sound is there, and it's on the pads. One thing I want to do is rename this track, which at the moment is called plugin 001. So long press on that. Keyboard, we'll just call it synth bass, I think. And now close. So we've got our 4-track recording project, and this second track is called synth bass, and it's using a plug-in, and there's that plug icon there. I won't change the sound of this. I could do some work on the actual synth itself, but I won't do it for the moment. For the moment, I'll concentrate on getting some notes in. So before I do that, I need to set my scale, my key, that kind of thing. To do that, there's a little icon down here which shows the 16 pads. Press that. Now we get this pad perform page up, and you can see what's on the screen here is a mirror image of what's over here on the actual pads. So now Now they sound different because obviously here on the screen there's no aftertouch touch sensitivity. Here of course you've got the full-blown touch sensitivity, aftertouch, whatever's there. So it's telling us what notes are what here, and it's telling us over here it's a key of C and the scale is C major. Now it defaults to the key. You see the red rectangle is around the C. I'm going to turn the data dial to the left to get A, and I'm going to put my finger on major because I don't want major, I want natural minor. By the way, if I long press on that, again there's the list, you see? Push down on the data dial. So we've got a key of A and the scale is natural minor. If I press plus on the octave, you'll see that becomes A2, A3, come down again. Now notice you've got 3 pads in red here. That's because they're all A's, they're all the root note. And if you press an A over here on the pads, you see you get these blue, oh, well, is it blue, might be green, my wife always tells me I can't tell the difference, but it tells me that those 2 notes are also A. So if I play this E note, it tells me that's also an E. If I play this B note, it's telling me that those 2 pads are B, see? And also we can see the root notes. So it's very clever, isn't it? And obviously when you play a pad, it lights up in green. And obviously if you play multiple pads, they light up in green. This might be a mono sound, so I may not be able to play multiple sounds at the same time, but you get the idea. Now, like I said, the on-screen pads are non-touch sensitive, and you can record using these if you prefer the sound without any of the nuances you get from aftertouch or touch sensitivity. Then you can by all means record using these pads over here. So whatever you press over here is reflected over here, and whatever you press over here is reflected over here. So it's really, really clever, isn't it? Now I'm going to make a little change in the metronome. So I'm going to go to the main page, go to Metro. The reason I'm going to do this is that I don't need the metronome while the thing is playing anymore. I'm going to need the metronome for the counting, so that's fine. But here where it says enable, I'm going to push down on the data dial and I'm going to turn that off. That means now I'll get a 4-beat counting. Once the track started, once I start hearing the drums, the metronome will cut out because I don't need it anymore, do I? I'm very guilty of leaving metronomes on in previous videos. On my Electron videos, I did that an awful lot and it drives me nuts. So I'm trying to circumvent that by doing this. So when I'm recording and I'm counting in, I'll hear the metronome, but as soon as the track starts, the metronome will turn off. This isn't going to be anything amazing musically, just to get us started, just to show you this process. Don't press record and play, because if you do, you can see the position is 3-1-56. It's not at the beginning of the song, so press record and play start. There's our count-in. So there's our pattern, all quantized nicely. Now, if I want to edit the sound, there's a couple of ways of doing this. Now you've got this circular icon here, and if I press that, it takes me to the page where I can alter the parameters of the synth. Let's come back to that. Another way of doing it is just to press edit. That's probably even easier, isn't it? And here, of course, you've got all the things you could change. Cut-off, filter, and there's all kinds of things. On this particular synth, there's even a delay that you can turn on to show you. That's quite fun. So what have we got? We've got the synth bass there, and if I rotate the dial, I've got the kit. So track 1 is the kit, the drum kit. Track 2 is the synth bass. See, I'm getting from track to track by turning the data dial. Let's just have a listen to that again. Play start. If you do have any questions about anything I say in these videos, please do get in touch with me either via my website or here on YouTube. So 2 tracks done, let's create a 3rd track. So down here, plus new track. Again, we're going to choose plugin because I want my Fender Rhodes piano. I'm going to press sounds. I'm going to go to stage EP, stage electric piano. Now studio EP, I think that's the default sound. I don't think I need to press anything. So if I go back to the main page, play some pads, yep, there's our lovely stage EP, our stage electric piano. Let's go back to the other view here for the moment. Not that it matters particularly, but if I long press plugin 002, and I'm going to label it Rhodes. So now we've got Rhodes, synth bass, and our drum kit. So let's go back to Rhodes. This will have the... If I go to the pads, it's still on A natural minor. You probably could change that if you wanted to, but I'm going to keep it all in the same key. So press main again. Now I'm going to play a 4-bar pattern. I'm going to play chords this time. So if I play these 4 pads here, that's the chord of A minor 7th. And if I move up, same pattern, that's E minor 7th. You can hear the different volumes as I press harder on some pads. So that's quite nice. Obviously, if I didn't want that, I could press pads and I could play it. Obviously, I don't want to record it like that. I want the kind of human qualities by playing those proper pads. Press main again. So record and play start. 4-bar count in. Now the overdub light was up, so if I pressed any pads then they would have got recorded, so I've turned that off. Let's play from the start. That's fine. If I want to alter any parameters of that stage EP, there's my icon there, and I could press that and I could change things here. The model, I could change the amp envelope. I don't want to do that at the moment, and again if I press edit here, same thing, see? I don't want to do that, but what I do want to do is change the mix, because you can hear that that's too loud. So I'm going to hold mixer, let's just play this. So make sure this is highlighted, my finger's on it, turn the Rhodes down, the data dial. And that's better, isn't it? So 3 tracks done. Let's go back to the main page, new track. This time I'm going to choose audio because I want to record using my built-in mic. So press audio. Now our audio 001 needs relabeling, renaming, so I'm going to do a long press. I'm going to change this to vocal. Go back to main page. Now if I press these 2 columns here, I've got these 2 long columns. I've got this view that's come up now. It's very small here, it's set to level at the moment. You can see effects, send, in and out. It's the in and out that I want. I'm going to set the input to this. Now it's actually already set on the input I want, which is input 1 and 2. But I want to use this mic. Now if I press that, that's fine. I turn the speakers off. Let's just turn the speaker on. Now if I press the mic, the internal microphone cannot be used while the internal speaker is on. So I'm going to push that slot down at the back. Now when I press the mic on, it's fine. I can use it. Now the monitor is showing off. I need to put that onto auto. I've put a rectangle on it. I could press it like that. Just press auto, and now you can hear me coming through here. Now, to set the level, the input gain is quite high, isn't it? But when I tried this morning, it was the first time I tried it, it was hardly recording at all. The input level was really low. So if I hold shift and mixer, now you can see the input gain is really high. That's great. But if I bring it down to about there, that's about where it was this morning. It was hardly coming in at all. So I need to bring it up. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you can see you've got two inputs. This is a little bit confusing, left and right, but there's only one microphone as far as I'm concerned. So maybe I will just link those into one and just record like that using inputs 1 and 2. There's a guy on YouTube from the AKAI site that showed this just recording with input 1. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I'll do that. I'll change back to the main here. I'll change the input to input 1. Now if I do this, it's quite a long way down. It's after 23 and 24. So just input 1 now. I'll hold shift and mixer, and I will unlink that. Now you can see there's the 2 here. We will only worry about the left side. So it's turned up quite high, this input gain. Probably be alright. And I'm just going to sing along with the track. So let's press record and play start. That's done. I'm going to turn the monitoring off for the moment. I'm going to press play start, but before I do that I'm going to press solo, and then you'll hear just my vocal. Let's go to the mixer. We'll make sure this vocal is in focus. Bring the level up. Unsolo it. One thing's very important when you're recording like this is don't have your headphones too loud, because otherwise the sound of the other tracks coming into your headphones might bleed through onto this mic and you might hear that in the background. And don't forget, you've got the posh inputs in the back where you can plug in a really nice condenser mic and enable the phantom power to get a really high quality recording. This is just a quick and dirty demo for which this mic is perfect. So let's come up here and touch effects. Now we've got these 4 boxes with plus. This is where you can add effects. So I'll press the top one. I'm going to push down on the data dial. I want the Reverb Pro, which is this one here. I'm going to just press this Reverb Pro. Where I added that effects here, I'm going to just press that. Now you can see the mix is 100%. Always defaults to that for some reason, so I'm going to press play. I'm going to back that off. Notice my finger is on the left of the dial. I can turn it up and down there. With the red box around it here, I can change it with the data dial. I could also change it with a 3rd Q-Link encoder, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 that way, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play it. That'll do fine. Let's go back to our main page. Let's add another effect, plus. Right, so I'm going to press type. I'm going to choose EQ. Push down. Now these are all EQs. Parametric EQ, that'll do fine. Going to just go to that page. We'll just give it a bit more top, shall we? So this is the high. I'm going to go to main, press solo. Right, let's go to our effects. Turn that up. So you can turn various parts of your EQ up and down. I've just done it very quickly there just to show you it can be done. By the way, up here you can defeat the effect. So if I don't want that top I've added, just press that and it goes off. It's too loud now, so let's go to the mixer and we'll just bring that down. I can drag it down. See? Now if I press pan and volume, make sure that's in focus, pan that to the right bit. I'm just looking at my main output going into my computer here. Yeah, and it is a bit fierce, so I want to turn that down. How do I do it? I can't see the outputs here. Well, I can drag along here until I see outputs 1 and 2. Touch that so it's in focus. We'll go to volume. Now, if I press play, I can bring the whole output down. And I'm watching my computer here. It's a better level. That's one way of turning the outputs down. The other way, probably easier, goes with I/O, outputs 1 and 2, level, and I can make sure this is in focus. I can turn the overall level up and down there. I can pan the overall mix, left and right. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Let's go back to our mixer. So if I'm on the drum kit, if I turn this, there's the volume of the drum kit, there's the pan of the drum kit, and here is a defeat, a mute, that mutes. Just turn it and it mutes it. So go to the Rhodes, turn the Rhodes up, the top Q-Link encoder, or the pan, or mute it. And this bottom one, that solos it. So whatever's in focus here, so I've got the Rhodes, the top Q-Link encoder controls the volume, the second one controls the pan, third one controls mute on and off, and the bottom one controls solo on and off. Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? But for quick use, here, just go to level, make sure that's highlighted, turn it up and down there, and that's great. Of course you can put effects on the outputs, but we're not going to do that for the moment. Whenever you use the data dial to do something, if you push down on it, it brings just that up on the screen so you can clearly see what you're doing, and then just push down on it again when you're finished. The final thing I'm going to do in this video is to show you how to delete a track. I'm just going to add a new one for the moment. So let's add another audio track. I won't bother naming this because I'm going to delete it in a moment. So on the main page here, and that's fine, I'm going to long press the track name here, and down here it says delete track. That's one way of deleting it. If I go to the track view page, which is shift and track view, or just double tap the main, again I could press and hold this orange icon where this new audio track is, press and hold, delete track there, and if I go to arrangement, I could do the same thing, press and hold, delete track. I'll do it here. Yes, I do want to delete it, and it's gone. So from our main page now, you can see we've got the drum kit, the synth bass, the Rhodes, and the vocal. So look in the arrangement, there it is, there's the whole thing. Let's play it from start to finish. We'll just let it loop a couple of times. So the term I use an awful lot when I'm working on these complicated devices is scratching the surface. And again, that's what I've done here today, but I don't want to get too deep at the moment. If you're just starting and you want to create a quick project, then today's video I think will be perfect for that. So there we are. If you've enjoyed today's video and you feel like you've got something from it, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to give me some encouragement for my work here on YouTube, please give me a small donation either here on YouTube or preferably on my website, which is www.daddylongles.com. Thank you very much for watching, and you'll see me in my next video.